So today we're going to talk about probably the most common vaccine injury we see here at our firm, which is Sirva, or shoulder injury related to vaccine administration. But before we get into that, I want to mention that we are not medical professionals here. If you believe that you're experiencing something like Sirva, it's imperative that you reach out to your doctor to figure out a treatment plan for you and to get properly diagnosed. So when we talk about Sirva, there are multiple different diagnoses that can be associated with it. And that includes frozen shoulder or adhesive capsulitis, bursitis, tendonitis, a rotator cuff injury, or impingement syndrome. Now, in some cases, you may have an asymptomatic injury to your shoulder that becomes aggravated due to Sirva. So that can include a rotator cuff tear, or some other underlying condition. Have some pain in your shoulder and sometimes some limited range of motion. It's important that you go see your doctor to establish what is your diagnosis. Often, depending on the doctor you see, this can be established through a orthopedic examination, or more often, if the symptoms are severe, through an MRI. Depending on your diagnosis and the severity of your condition, there's an array of treatment options that your doctor may recommend. And this is based on what I've seen with my own clients and also the medical literature on Sirva. But typically, your doctor is going to recommend some method of conservative treatment first. So physical therapy, anti-inflammatory medications, pain medications, and sometimes steroid shots to try to first reduce that inflammation in your shoulder and regain any deficits in range of motion or strength. If these conservative methods fail and you continue to have shoulder pain and your symptoms are getting worse, often your doctor may recommend surgery to repair either a rotator cuff injury or other tendon or ligament damage in your shoulder. For people who have experienced Sirva, we help them by filing petitions in the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. And there's some basic requirements in order to be eligible for filing in that program. First, you have to have received a covered vaccination. And for Sirva, usually that means a vaccination that's administered intramuscularly into your deltoid. Common examples would include the influenza vaccine, MMR, the tetanus vaccine, HPV, or the pneumonia vaccination. Now, in addition to receiving a covered vaccine, you had to have had symptoms of your injury for at least 6 months before you're eligible. And when I say symptoms, I mean pain, range of motion issues, or strength deficits. Finally, you have to file a petition within 3 years of the date of onset of your symptoms. So for Sirva, typically we see symptoms, with an onset within 1 to 2 days following the administration of the vaccine. So that would mean you'd have roughly 3 years to file from the date of vaccination in order to maintain your eligibility in the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. And once we file the petition, and establish your entitlement to compensation, the types of compensation available in the program include pain and suffering damages, lost income or earnings, any out-of-pocket medical expenses, so anything not covered by insurance or other means, and any future lost earnings or lost out-of-pocket expenses or future pain and suffering.